Hello Plush Maniacs, welcome back to another video. Thank you for tuning in, of course. So as you know, on Mario Plush Network, our main account, that we discussed our top 10 favorite Mario plushes, me and Mr. McCormick. So today, I'll be here to discuss my top 10 favorites of our Kirby plushes. We know that we've been chugging out the plush series a lot, but now we want to start getting into like more review videos of plushes as well. Now that we are growing our collection, as it's already grown pretty much over this year. We've already gotten like 10 more Kirby plushes, and we are still getting more. We're still getting a lot more, and we're excited to showcase our plush collection to you, of course. So in the background, it is hailing and raining pretty bad. It just stopped now, but it keeps going on and off. So please excuse the loud noise of the hail and stuff. So it might interrupt a little bit if it comes back, but as of now, the rain calmed down. We need the weather anyway, and it's pretty good. So anyway, let's get on to it. So my first favorite Kirby plush, these aren't in any particular order either. It's just for now, like it's our first video, like doing the top 10 for the Kirby plushes. So right now, we'll start getting more organized in the future, but as of now, it's just a pile of like my 10 favorites. I'll go over them and stuff, of course. So as of now, let's get into it. So one of my favorite Kirby plushes, well, the number one favorite one of mine is Chef Kawasaki. You can see him in all his glory. The reason why he is one of my favorites is because overall, a little biased, but he is one of my favorite characters in the Kirby franchise, of course. He's one of my favorite enemies, and of course in the Kirby show, he is also very good. Like, I like his voice and everything. So he's pretty much one of my favorite enemies. And the thing unique about this one is that this is one of the very few official Kawasaki plushes. I know there are different brands that have made this, but this is the only official Sine Chef Kawasaki plush. I'm pretty sure it is. But if it's not, let me know down in the comments, as we are still growing a collection and we're still trying to get more Kirby news as we speak. So as of now, this is one of the very few official Kawasaki plushes. You can see that he's based off of his game appearances with like the orange yellowish skin color as it is in the games. And you can see that his apron is nice and stitched with the the straps crossed in the back like how it is in the games. And of course the frying pan, which is neatly attached to his hand. The detail on this one's also pretty amazing. The scratchy material in the middle, that's like kind of like soft and rubbery. And then the back is like felt, nice and stitched up, of course. Then the embroidering in the eyes is one of my favorite things, as it's executed very well on this. The chef hat is one thing to point out. The stitches and lumps and bumps on it are very good. It's a very accurate presentation of how Kawasaki's hat is. It shakes a little bit, but it's like a kind of like nice, like a little wobbly detail, I guess. And of course his pocket inside. And I barely realized this, but you can stuff something in there, like maybe like a tiny candy or something if you want to hide anything, because Kawasaki does have a pouch that is stitched properly where you can actually store some tiny stuff in there if you want, to give it a little extra detail with his apron, of course, like if you had an extra frying pan or something like that. So the embroidering of this, in the color scheme of this, I love the stripes on the stripe pattern on this one too. The nice beans in the feet. So that is why he's one of my favorites, because the detail is also amazing. He's one of my favorite Kirby characters. And this back in 2009, Sine did not make an old Sine Kawasaki. So the AllStar one is the first ever official Kawasaki plush, actually, I'm pretty sure. Which is also very cool, because this guy finally got his plush treatment with Sine, and I'm pretty sure there's a few more out there, including bootlegs, so might want to watch out for that. So now, my second favorite plush has got to be I have like a few more Kirby plushes, of course. So some of them are my favorites, that you can probably tell from the thumbnail. But this one is Hammer Kirby. One of my favorites because it's like very nostalgic, because the old Sine set I love the most, because every plush is just based off of the Kirby Right Back At You franchise. So that is also a very good plus. And the reason why I like this one, of course, because he's based off of the Kirby Right Back At You series. As I've stated before, that's one of the best series I like, along with the Super Show of Mario and stuff, of course, like that. So again, let's start off with the details of why I like him. Because Hammer Kirby is a unique copy ability, and he is holding DDD's hammer, which I like about this one. I'll have to get the new AllStar Hammer Kirby, which just recently released by Sine, a part of the AllStar collection. So we'll do we'll probably do a few discussion videos of like the new upcoming AllStar ones, of course. So anyway, the detail on him is amazing. I love like how they wrap the rope around his head, because he has like that rope around his head, of course, because he is Hammer Kirby. The stitching on this one looks like it's kind of coming off as it's dangling, but it is holding up pretty well. The beans in the feet are also very good. The embroidering, and I love like how the old Snake Kirbys use like that dark blue for the eyes, and then the new ones use like that lighter blue. So it's kind of nice that they have a distinct difference, and that they are extremely improved in the AllStar collection, as they're more round, while this one's like more flat. But I like how they did it, because like they're pretty much unique with the way they did this, because they stand out, and they actually, the AllStar ones have new minor differences. So that is why he's one of my favorites, because Hammer Kirby is one of my favorite copy abilities. And of course, the structure of this one is also good with the embroidering and the soft fuzzy material as well. And yet again, he is based off of the Kirby Right Back At Ya Hammer Kirby, which I'm also a pretty big fan of. So now, let's move on to my third favorite. Again, not a particular order, just a pile of my 10 favorites. But just a quick disclaimer that a lot of these might change, because as I said before, we are still growing our plush collection. So a lot of the favorites might change, some of them might stay the same, but only time will tell in the future when we have a little bit more Kirby plushes. So my second favorite one is another copy ability, which is Ice Kirby. So the detail on this one's also very nice. He is one of my first copy ability Kirbys that I have, which is also why I like it, because like he's one of my very first copy abilities of Kirby that I bought in plush form, of course. So I like how he has like a happy smiley face on this one. Yet again, very soft, the beans in the feet and the ice, because Ice Kirby is one of my favorite power-ups, as I keep saying, because like you freeze everybody, and like it's just one of my favorite ones to use, because the damage that it gives to everybody, like it kills them almost instantly. So that's why I like Ice Kirby a lot too. And the detail on the spikes to represent the ice shards with like the strap around it, because it is kind of like an ice hat, but at the same time it's represented to be like real ice crystal shards, of course. So the detail on that's also very nice and structured well. It looks like they like got different parts of like shards and like stitched them all in one and like kind of set it up there, so it looks pretty good. I'm really happy like with the embroidery here with like the star, the whatever it's called, the jewel on him. So that's also another one of my favorites, of course. So Ice Kirby is a very good copy ability. One of the original copy abilities, actually. So that's why I like him so much as well. So now, let's get on to enemy, like a simple one that's my favorite. And now that simple one is probably the old Sine 2011 Waddle D plush. So, a couple of reasons why he's my favorite. One, of course, old Sine, based off of the Kirby Right Back At Ya franchise. And second is that the detail on him, of course, is amazing, and I love the color structure on that one. Sorry, excuse me for a moment. And then third is because the detail of him, and I just love the old Sine Kirby Right Back At Ya Waddle D style better than like the new orange style, because I just like how chubby they look, and I love like the salmon color of the Waddle D much more than the orange color. I honestly like it better, and then I also like how it's just the black eyes with white pupils. Pretty standard. I like the the brown on the bottom of the new Waddle Ds, but this one just stands out to me. And I also got him in 2019 of February, and he just came in very good condition. He's still in pretty much good condition, of course. I might have to get more of these because I was just obsessed with that Waddle D back then, and he'll probably stay as one of my favorites for a very long time, just because of the nostalgia, and just because I love that Waddle D design better. So, now that was the fourth favorite of mine, excuse me. So now my other favorite is AllStar Megalore. I probably won't even have to like say, because you can probably already tell why. Because Megalore, excuse me, as another one of my favorites. He is an awesome enemy in the Kirby franchise, of course. He's also good in Star Allies and whatnot. So the detail on him is extremely amazing. I like how his cloaking, like cape or whatever this is, can like roll up. The detail on it is super thick, and I love it with like the embroidering lines and everything, because everything's super well separated. And I love how this entirely thing is embroidered. The eyes are embroidered. Sorry, I can't speak today for some reason. But the horns and the embroidery for this one is very nice and well executed. I love like the little belt buckle here, which is also another thing to keep the cloak on, or otherwise it would fall off. He kind of has like the same face as Meta Knight here, just because he has the same yellow eyes and like the same blue or brown black drops, so you can't really see what's inside of his cloak as he is mainly hidden. So that is why he's one of my favorites. I also got him in 2019, which is also pretty cool. So I've had him for like 4 years and he's still holding up pretty well. The detail on his hands are also amazing. I just love how extremely detailed he is. He's one of the most detailed Kirby plushes to date, and when I get more, I'm pretty sure a lot of them have been just over the top, because Sine has been flushing out the Kirby plushes recently, which is a good thing though. So now my fifth favorite is, as I said before, you probably already know now, the AllStar Meta Knight. Pretty much the same reason as Megalore, because the cape detail and everything is pretty nice, and Meta Knight's one of my favorite and protagonists, I should say. He's one of my favorite protagonists in the Kirby franchise, of course, just because like I love how he has a duel with Kirby. But not only that, the way they brought his backstory in Kirby Right Back At You is also strange, because it's just like he knows Kirby and he knows Kirby's secrets, and like how does he know so much about Kirby? Because I just love Meta Knight too, because not only because like the sword and like his special moves and stuff, and not just because like he's an enemy in general, but like the backstory of him is super interesting if you watch the show. Like, where did he come from? He looks like a Kirby species because he's like the same round shape, same boots, same eyes, just hidden behind the mask. And when you play the games and when his mask falls off, when you actually defeat him, it cracks in half, splits. And he looks exactly like Kirby, but blue. So he is super interesting because we don't know his backstory, and we can clearly tell he's related to Kirby in some way. But like, why would he be against Kirby if they're related? So that's pretty much interesting, and that's why I love Meta Knight a lot too, because he's just such an interesting, complex character in the franchise, gotta say. So now on to the seventh favorite of mine, which is a new plush that I got. The AllStar Collection, a Woofie, which just released last year. He is from Kirby and the Forgotten Land. He's one of my favorite new variants is because he's like a wolf dog. He's kind of like an unknown creature, as like he's like a dog-like creature, because of course they sleep. They kind of remind me of Yoshi because of like how cute they look. And they also kind of remind me like of a Poochie because of course a dog, but they're like cute. But this one's actually like an evil one, because if you wake him up, he chases Kirby, and he can also lose his copy ability. So he's basically like a pretty much an enemy, pretty much like a Waddle D, but like in a dog form, of course. So he's one of my favorite plushes because the character, he just released last year. I got him, and he's super, super fluffy, which I like about him. The detail on him is also amazing. I love the red stripe on him. He kind of looks pretty much like a wolf too, and I love the eyes, the way the eyes are embroidered with the brown and the black and the white pupils, which are also nice. So they really did over the top with the paw prints too. So he is one of my favorite ones, and I'm just glad to have him in the collection. So my second favorite, or my eighth favorite Kirby one, is one of my recent purchases as well, and that is the Kirby Adventure. Of course, that was the title that Sine dubbed them in the 2011 Old Sine set. So the 2011 Sine Kirby is one of my other favorites, pretty much the same reasons as a Waddle D, because I just love how he's based off of the Kirby Right Back At You Kirby. I just love the way he looks in this plush form. He just looks super cute, and of course the pink, and he's also super, super fluffy. Super, super fluffy with the cardboard in the feet. I'm kind of sad that Sine stopped doing the cardboard in the feet, because it looked more realistic, like he was actually kind of like wearing shoes, as they were more sturdy. There's no beans in the feet in this one, but there is beans in the feet in the Waddle D, which is kind of strange. But if you're wondering, yes, he is official with the touch tag and all. So overall, he's super soft. I love the detail. I'm glad that they based him off of the Kirby Right Back At You Kirby again. So he is pretty much one of my favorites, and I was super glad to get him, and I'm glad that he is now officially part of the collection, as I bought him over the summer in 2023. So another one of my favorites again is another Kirby copy ability. I just enjoy the Kirby copy ability a lot because they're just super special and unique. And I recently bought this copy ability last week, as of making this video, at Target. He is still brand new with his tags. I'm gonna take them off eventually, as he's gonna be used in a future Kirby Plush episode that we have an idea for. So I really love him, and this one is the Sniper Kirby or Archer Kirby. So he is dubbed Sniper Kirby in the AllStar Collection, but he really is Archer Kirby at the same time. So he has two different titles, but whichever one you like better you can use for him, of course, because Archer and Sniper are basically the same thing. So he's basically a Kirby playing archery, and he is one of my favorite copy abilities, as I just picked him up because I've never seen this plush at a store, and he's super obscure and super weird, and it's just because one thing. I looked this plush up online. There's like no detail on him in the plush form whatsoever. There's like no news articles about him or pretty much anything. He just kind of popped up out of the blue. I kind of forgot what year he came out in. I'll have to research that, of course, because as I keep mentioning, we're still working on the Kirby Plush Collection, so we still need to gather as much info as we can so we get to know a lot of these plushes a lot better. So he is not for sale on eBay or Mercari or Amazon. There is listings of him, but they're super expensive. We wonder why this plush is like so rare when he's just like a brand new All-Star one, like from a few years ago, which is pretty weird as there's no listings of him. We think that he's out of production, but also not at the same time, because he is now popped up at Target. So that's why he's one of our favorites now, because he's just like so obscure and rare. And then the bow and arrow and the detail of the string and everything is also another one of our favorites. We love the wings on his hat, of course, too, so that is why he's one of our favorites, because of the way they styled him and the execution of this plush as well. So now our final favorite is probably similar to Dry Bowser from Mario, because we just love Bowser. We love the main protagonist, and the protagonist for the Kirby franchise is our last favorite. You probably already know him as King DDD. You might say in the thumbnail that this might be clickbait, because why do we have the Kirby right back at you Old Snake Kirby or King DDD in our thumbnail? And that is because he is our all-time favorite, even though we don't have him. Because he's based off of the Kirby right back at you DDD, and he is holding the hammer, and he is not as small as the All-Star ones. This plush does not have a small, large, or medium size. It's just executed super huge. So that's why we like him, but we hope to get him in the future because he is super rare. The rarity of him is super, super, super expensive. So that is why he is our top number one out of all this handful that we pulled out. And I brought AllStar DDD here just to kind of like show the differences, of course, because he is one of our top 10 favorites as well, so you could kind of combine them as our favorite, as we don't have the Hammer Old Snake DDD as of now, but we hope to get him in the future. So anyway, let's get on to the All-Star one. So we have been wanting the AllStar DDD for the longest of time, and we finally got him for a very, very good deal this summer, as he's kind of gotten rare too, because there's not many listings of him anymore. And again, if they are, they're Japanese listings that are like $60, which is super insane for some reason. So luckily we got him while we could, because he is super rare. And again, we love how he's based off of the Kirby games, of course, with the big eyes and stuff. He almost looks like the Super Smash Bros. DDD, but he does not have his hammer, so he's basically like a plain DDD plush. So the detail on him is also very nice. He's still pretty huge for being an All-Star one, not as big as the Ultimate one though. But we love him. King DDD is one of our favorite characters, and again with the Kirby Right Back At You series, he is just super funny and hilarious. So that's why we love him so much, and we're so glad to have the official one. The embroidering again is super nice. The detail on the eyes and everything is super nice. The beams in the feet, of course the tush tag in the back. For some reason the Cincinnati Kirby's don't say what year they came out on the back of the tag, but that is all good. So now let's go with the outro and showcase our top 10 favorite Kirby's all in one shot. So we are back, and here is a full overview of our top 10 favorite Kirby plushes. So let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And also let us know which one is your favorite and if you agree or disagree with our choices. And if you want us to showcase any other plushes in a different way, like another top 10, make sure to let us know in the comments. We love to hear all your ideas for anything Kirby related, of course, so we'd like to hear your ideas down below. And again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and thank you for all the support now, as it's been about 4 months since or like 3 months since we came back to the Kirby Plush Network. So again, we'd like to thank you again. And our Kirby Plush Collection, as I've said, is growing, and we can't wait to showcase more Kirby unboxings and reviews with you in the future, and as well with discussions and more top 10 favorites. So again, let us know what your favorite Kirby plushes is down in the comments below. Any ideas, questions, comments that you have, we love to hear them. And that pretty much wraps up this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.